Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Pollyanna Creative. This is my YouTube channel where I share what I've been making since the last episode, which will be a little while ago, actually. I have finished a couple of things. Possibly could have done more with this coronavirus lockdown, which we have been on a stage 2 restrictions for about a week now, which is a relief. Stage 3 was definitely a challenge. So I'm still working from home. That hasn't changed at all, and it probably still will be working from home for the rest of the year. Looks like it. So I've kind of forgotten what it's like to go into the office. But working from home means more time at home to make things. So I shall get on and show you what I have finished. Now, the latest thing I've made is this. So I've been wanting to make a project bag. So this is a bag to keep my cross stitch in. And I've been keeping my cross stitch in a plastic bag for far too long now. It was time to make something a bit nicer to keep it in. So this was my first attempt, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It is just a basic drawstring bag with a round base. And I kind of just made up the measurements myself. I'm pretty happy with this one. It's a decent size. I didn't quite get my circle measurements correct, so the sides were a little bit too wide for the circumference of the circle. But I was still able to fit it in. It's just got a couple of little wrinkles and that. But I'm happy with that. The light blue material is leftover cotton material. I don't know where. It was just in my sewing room, which has worked pretty well for the base of this. So it's kind of plasticky. I think it will work well in case anything gets spilt on it or anything like that. Pretty durable. I did interface it and the base, and it's fully lined, and I interfaced the lining of the base. The rest of it I left as is. So I've got a little clip here, and there's another one on the inside. I'll show you what is on the inside. A cross stitch, which I haven't done any more of since the last time I showed you. Just not been in a cross stitch mood, but that's okay. I've still been busy. Okay. So it's got lots and lots of pockets. There's one in there. I don't know whether the camera will pick it up or not. One in there that this one on the bottom is big enough for an A4 book to fit in. So I've got my pattern in there. Is that one? Otherwise, there's another 2 pockets. There's another little clip, and I think that's about it. The base of the lining is green. It's a similar green to the green that's in this pattern here. So this is also leftover curtains. And then the blue and the green were just material that I've been given a while ago, and then the lining's just calico. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. Oh, even the drawstring was just something I had in the cupboard, and I made these little stoppers at the end with just rectangles of this material. And you can see my little pin. I don't think the camera will be picking it up, but it's a little cat, and it says sewing assistant on it. So normally I wear this on my denim jacket, but I just stuck it on here for the moment. This is from, I think it was Colette or Seamwork. I'm not sure whether they still sell it or not, but I ordered it from America. That would be a few years ago, actually. And it came with a set of 3 others. There's a little pair of stalk scissors, pin, and a tape measure that says measure twice, cut once, and a little thimble. So that was kind of cute. But of I really, really like the cat. Seeing as the cat is a pretty regular appearance in all my crafting affairs. Yeah, so that was the first attempt. Then I made a second version, which this is a second version. So this one, I got my circle a lot better. Knitting in there, so it's nice and pudgy at the minute, but hardly any wrinkles in that. Well, actually, I think there was. Yeah, there's no wrinkles. Just about to see in a minute. So I did my maths, I got that worked out, and I'm really happy with that. Again, it's leftover cat material for the base. It's the same, exactly the same material, just a different colour. And again, I have no idea where it came from. This is the same pattern material, which is it's like nice and durable. I interfaced it all again, lined it in calico again. So I'll show you this one. I've just got my knitting in it at the moment. You really can see it. It's got a green base as well. This one does. Again, plenty of pockets and little clips as well. There's one on there and another one on the outside. And this one's got a panel of green on it through the middle. That was just a little design feature because I didn't want to cut more calico. But I reckon it looks cool. This is a pocket here. All my pockets I put a little bit of bias binding along the tops of them. See whether you can see that in there too. Yeah, so I'm happy with this how this one turned out as well. I really like the way it's getting the base right. This one is a bit taller, and I think it's too tall. Like I'm not so happy with the height of it. I mean, it obviously fits more, but it's just I think it's just too tall for the size base. It would have been better to have a bigger circle and then not as. But live and learn. This is still quite usable, and I'm still happy with it. But while I'm here, I can show you my knitting. So I have done a little bit since last time. I've just finished spinning up some more wool. I'm hoping this will be enough to finish. I have no idea on quantities, so we shall see. So this is my hand spun 100% alpaca, undyed. It's just straight off the animal, literally. And then washed, obviously. So last time I showed you this, I don't think I had finished the body of it. And now, I'll show you, that's the back. Finished the body, so it's got this lovely like ribbing design until halfway down, and it's stocking stitch, and then it's got a one by one rib at the bottom. So my knitting needle's jingling around. So, there we go. So I've also started a sleeve. Now this is the first time I've ever knitted a garment. So it's been a learning curve, but I would highly recommend this pattern for beginners. Once you your basic knit and purl. I've used YouTube quite a few times to learn different things, but it's been like in, doable chunks. So I learned how to do increases on a purl row and a knit row, I think that's how you say it, through all this top section. And then what else did I learn? How to cast increase, increase stitches in the middle of a row, I think it was. And cast, yeah, so this for the armholes, you're just knitting along. You move these stitches to a stitch holder, and then you cast on, I think it was like another 10 stitches, and then keep knitting. So I'd never done that either, so I had to learn that. And then I had to learn how to pick up stitches, so for the other one, when you go to do the sleeve. And I found a tutorial that's supposed to stop these little holes from appearing on the underarm, but I still do have holes, and I think that's me, not the tutorial. Or little gaps. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Because this is the first time I've ever done it, so I'm hoping my second sleeve will be a bit better. But I'm still happy with that because I have a sleeve. Yeah, and then as I said, it was the first time working with circular needles, full stop. You work in rows for the body of the cardigan, and then yeah, in rounds for the sleeves, and that's been a learning experience for me. I don't know whether there's a trick to it, but I seem to be like pushing my stitches along all the time. Yeah, it feels a little bit fiddly, but it's doable. Maybe I need to YouTube that as well and see if there is any tricks. But I'm really happy with this. I think I'll be finished by like the beginning of summer. Anyway, there'll be more winters. It is so soft, really, really soft. So I'm just really happy with this because this is wool that I have spun and then knitted all myself. So I didn't tell you what the pattern was. I think I've talked about it in the past, but it is the Sunday cardigan by Petite Knit. I just bought the pattern off Etsy, and this is the mohair edition. I didn't realise there was a normal edition, and I swatched for this before I bought the pattern. Bought the pattern and then found the other one. Like I was aware that it looks slightly different because I'm using a different sort of wool, but I'm still really happy with it. So I highly recommend this one. For any newbies out there looking for a project to start. I did kind of half try it on, like over the shoulders, when I had the both sleeves before I started the sleeves, so I couldn't really put my arms through the where the stitch holders were. But I tried it on over my shoulders, got the length I really like. It's really nice fitting because of the rib. I think it just like stretches as much as it needs to over whoever's shoulders it is. So it sits really nice. Really happy with that. So I just got a 1.5 sleeves to do. Will this last 1.5 sleeves? Should find out. Oh, and because this is like the most spinning I've ever done, it's the first time I've knitted with something I've spun. So I don't know whether you noticed, but the top is a lot like chunkier and uneven, and as my spinning got better and my knitting got better, it gets more even. So yeah, but I like that texture. The texture probably hides my uneven knitting, but yeah, I reckon it looks cool as well. But yeah, the top's more textured than the rest, which I'm okay with. It kind of tells the story, tells how my knitting and my spinning has improved. So yeah, that's all I've got to tell you with my knitting. And I think I have a few things sewing wise to share with you, but they are down in my sewing room. So I shall move locations and I'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. So back down my sewing room, which is actually a little bit chilly at the minute. We had snow yesterday, and that was like, what is it, 25th of September, and it snowed for like 2 hours, which we don't get a lot of snow, maybe like once or twice a year, and this is the second time for this year, but it's spring, so that's still cool. If it's going to be this cold, it may as well snow. So, yeah, so it's a little bit chilly down here, but that's okay. It doesn't stop you sewing. So the first things I wanted to show you was I ordered these two Tilly and the Buttons patterns, which arrived in the mail a couple of weeks ago. So the good thing about living in Australia is when you order something from England and it takes like ages to arrive, you forget you've ordered it, and it's like this big surprise when it turns up. So these two patterns have been on my wish list for quite a while, and Tilly was having a sale, so that was my excuse to get them. So I don't have any current plans for Martha at this point, but I really do like it. I think this is an underestimated pattern. Like I haven't seen many made. Haven't really looked much on the Instagram, but I haven't seen anyone I follow make it much, except for Crafty Pinup. Or I think she's called What Abby Makes now, and she's made a couple pretty early on when she first started her blog, and they look really cool. I think she made hers in pattern material. I think it'll look cool in it'll look really nice in just a solid color as well. So yeah, I haven't really seen many made. I really like the skirt on it. Like nice swish to it. There's a short sleeve and longer skirt version there too. Um, I do like the longer sleeves. So no current plans for this one, but it's been something that I've really liked for a while, and I think it's underappreciated, and I really want to make a version one day. Whenever that is. I have a lot of sewing plans, so one day might be, I don't know, 10 years in the future. Now this one I do have plans for. Now I'm not really a shorts person. I just can never find shorts that are comfortable, especially for pajamas. So the shorts are not on my list. And I say that even like, sewing your own and making them big enough for me. And no, just not my thing. But I do like this top, and again, crafty pinup. What Abby makes. So Abby Dyson, what Abby makes. She hacked this and made it into a nightie, and I really like that idea. So because through summer I would wear something like that. That's um, out of like a slippery material. It's nice and comfy, nice and cool, and I think this would be perfect. So I have plans for this, a nightie out of this. So this top hacked longer. And me and my sister were in Spotlight the other day, as we do, and I saw this material on the bargain table, and it's like, I don't know, some sort of polyester. It's slippery. It looks perfect. So it's a nice pale blue with they look like pixelated flowers. Anyway, I think it will be perfect for this pattern. So I've got myself a couple of meters of that. I think that was only $8 a meter maybe, and they're pretty wide meters, so really happy with that bargain. But while we were there, I saw this, which is also on the sale table. This, which is actually more pinker than it's showing on here, is a gorgeous floral. I think it's a rayon. Got a really nice drape. And it was only $6 a meter, and I couldn't leave it there. So initially I was thinking, oh, I'll make another nightie out of it. It's just going to be like a really special nightie because it's so pretty. But then I'm like, oh, it'd be sad to just wear it to bed. So maybe I'll make a dress out of it, or maybe I'll make a maybe I'll make a fifi and wear it as a dress, like over a t-shirt or something. Don't know. That might not be the idea, but this is going to be made in the very, very near future. It's gorgeous. And it's really sad it's not appearing on the camera nicely. It is. It's really, really, really pretty. So I'm very happy with that one too. And my sister bought herself what is it? It's green with like an irregular white polka dot, and she's making a dress out of that. I can't remember the number, M7965 or something like. Yeah, yeah, I'd have to look it up. But it's one with like it's a square neckline. It's got these big puffy sleeves, and I think it's elastic casing, like down the waist. But we have changed it to shirring. So last night we were doing the whole YouTube thing and teaching ourselves how to do shirring, which we've done a little practice one. We haven't actually done it on the dress yet, but it seems simple. Unless there's a catch that I'm not yet aware of, I think we've got it down. Um, fiddled with the sewing machine settings for a little bit, and yeah, it looks really cool. So she loves sharing, and she's bought a few garments herself that have got it in it. And if this works, she will be making a lot of these, which is cool. I'm excited for it too. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on at the moment, helping her with that. And in between, I've been making a hack over this pattern. This is a vintage pattern, Simplicity 6951. And I have made this before in like a red and white check material, which I have posted on my Pollyanna collection Instagram page. So what inspired me to pull this out was the hashtag that's going around, So Vintage September. Actually, there's a whole separate Instagram account for it too. So I made this up. Mind you, I have this pattern, right? But I don't have instructions for it. All I've got was the top half, and it had been chopped off halfway. So whoever had made it in the past had tweaked it. So I rebuilt the pattern. It's pretty simple. You can see down here. It's just 2 pattern pieces for the dress. Redrafted the pattern for the first dress I made. Then I've made another dress, which I'll show you. This was for So Vintage September. I'm posting this one for that reason. And then the one I'm working on at the moment, which I can't really show you because it's little scraps, I decided to cut it in half like whoever the previous owner did, and yeah, make my own hack on it. But this is the one I have finished. So only change I made was to put this little gorgeous little bow, and it is fully lined. Well, I don't know whether the pattern calls for that or not because I don't have the instructions, but I fully lined it. And otherwise it is just a really, really simple dress. It is made out of my parents' curtains. They got new curtains, and I took the old ones. And then when Mum came down to my sewing room, I'm like, you do really like your new curtains, don't you? You don't really want the old ones back because there's now a big hole in the middle. But I think this is a good use of curtain material. It's got these little green buttons at the top. The lining is made from scraps of leftovers, and I don't know how many pieces I had to sew together. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But we made it. Got enough lining. That was probably like the trickiest bit, most time consuming bit. Sewing all my scraps of lining together. Because I wanted it lined in pink. And I couldn't go back to Spotlight again. So yeah, all done. And I'm really happy with this little bow. I just think that's the cutest. Very happy. And it's actually the first sewn thing I've finished in a long, long time. So the So Vintage September kind of got me motivated for it. Okay, sorry about that slight interruption, but I don't really have anything further to share, so I shall finish now. And please like and subscribe to this channel if you liked this video, and you will hopefully see me again in the bit nearer future. I keep saying this. I try to make episodes as frequently as possible, but who knows with the we'll blame it all on coronavirus. Everyone blames everything on coronavirus. So, yeah, until next time, please stay safe and keep crafting, and I shall talk to you again soon. Bye.